Good afternoon. It's a late start, I guess, and welcome to Black Hole Capital. Uh, we're discussing everything today under the sun. It's been some time, so we're going to quickly dwell into our bad boys, which is our Nifty and Bank Nifty. We'll see how they are doing. Uh, At the moment, it looks like everything is good with them. Pretty bullish, pretty bullish. In the morning, they had some differences, but now everything seems to be done. The difference is reducing continuously. 59,500 is at a 300 rupees, less than 300 now at 270. It started at around 370, 380 difference in the morning. But as we are coming towards the end of the day, it's looking more of a strong reversal which has happened, and because of that you'll see that the indexes have gone up, especially bank nifty has gone on a crazy rally. So yeah, bank nifty is here, and I think we'll be seeing some all-time high or something again, like every day on this index. Supremely strong unless and until something terrible happens. That's the only reason that anything wrong can go wrong is because of Bank Nifty. If Bank Nifty remains strong, I don't think anything is a problem right now, at least for us. Uh, Besides that, again, we have usual suspects which are existing. Uh, Yen does not seem to stop. It went up to 157.8, 157.88, and was back to 155.6. Uh, Hoping that there were some yen interventions which happened to bring the currency in favor, but it's back again. It's back up from 155 point whatever some low to 156.38 right now. And on the other hand, we have our dear friend silver. Silver has also done something very similar. Silver is also back up to 52, again above the $50 mark. Not able to just break down under 50 and be there unless and until there is like severe liquidations across the world. We would probably see that this can happen. Now, as we all know that there is something which is brewing up in terms of the global macros when it comes to your AI and everything which is happening. So if you see that the technology and AI stocks have really dominated the markets, the Nvidia Q3 results and strong guidance sent its share up like by 5% in after hours, and then once it actually came out, there was some the people realized that during the market there's some issue and the stock went tumbling down. Investors are getting cautiously optimistic on AI. Many firms, Microsoft, Google, AWS, are plowing billions into your AI infrastructure, uh, new data centers, and analysts have raised price targets for everything. Now, if you understand the theory of it all, uh, it's kind of impossible that the analyst or these brokerage houses will ever give a sell rating because all of them are their clients. You don't tell your clients anything bad, right? Like you praise your clients. So Nvidia has done the same thing, and even after the results and everything came out, Nvidia has sent out like newsletters to everybody to make sure that their stock is going to go back up. But unfortunately, Nvidia has continued its downward trend, along with Oracle, which has fallen from a high of somewhere 300, and now it's looking around 35% lower. So this growing debate of a possible AI bubble does exist. The markets have seen strong pullbacks because of them. Although yesterday was major rally. Every market is up today. Indian markets are up today. Probably this would be because of there's some kind of India trade deal which is expected, but I do not know when it's coming out. So yeah, the trade deal is one of the most important triggers for us. Once trade deal is done, uh, then is the only thing which is left is the rate cuts, if they do it or they don't do it. So yeah, I mean, at some point rate cuts are really not good. It really reflects weakly on your economy because people are unable to pay back, and that's why you have to go in for these severe cuts anyway. So all the commentators have noted that the magnificent seven tech giants now trade at unusually high valuations, high multiples, where their forward P is around 30 approximately, whereas the 10 versus a 10-year average of 22. And the Buffet indicator, Warren Buffett indicator, which actually goes to show your market cap to GDP, that has climbed above 200% levels. Uh, these levels were last seen during a dot-com bubble. Some top investors, example UBS, the CIO of UBS, he has been warning of overvaluation and they are wanting to hedge their tech exposure. Even Deutsche Bank has issued that we should be hedging our tech exposure, especially the AI exposure. On the regulatory front, big tech also faces evolving rules. The European Union announced delays to strict AI Regulation Act for high risk applications, pushing enforcement to 2027. At the same time, antitrust and data protection changes are in play. Uh, so these factors combined with the end of 2025 earnings will shape how long the AI stock rally can run. For now, markets remain focused on quarterly results, strong earnings, and but present with a lot of caution. So need to be very well aware. Uh, Now, beyond that, we have our favorite, which is your yeah, yen carry trade, which is there. Now, the Bank of Japan has signaled it is moving towards tighter policy. Governor Ueda said in late November that Bank of Japan now needs a bit more data before a rate increase, but left open the possibility of a small rise as early as its December meeting. Reuters is saying this. Minutes of the October review showed policy makers agreed to look very carefully at market moves, and Ueda has indicated the BOJ is ready to hike again either in December or January if inflation remains firm. Now, obviously, if your currency is going to be depreciating like this, you are going to be bringing in inflation into the country naturally. So, inflation has got to be there for you. And if that is there, then all the policy which is there are hinting towards a hike again, either in December or January. This follows two rate hikes in early 2025, with the policy rate now zero point 0.5. On forward guidance, officials have downplayed any change to yield curve control but are clearly prepared to tighten as needed. Now, again, the Bank of Japan has continuously been saying that we do not do yield curve control, we do not come in and buy our bonds or anything like that. But in reality, there is no chance that they are not doing this because it would have collapsed already. The only reason why it's still remaining is because of something called as an ice printer in your backyard, which is available, with which you can just keep printing and you can just keep buying so that you have that stability in your bonds as of now. Even those are kind of giving up, you see. The Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi's government, preparing for a record stimulus. Their reports are suggesting an extra budget package of around $130 billion to fund spending and tax cuts. Financial markets have already reacted. The yen has weakened. It hit a 10-month low, like I showed you guys. It was at 157.8. And all your long term bonds, or your 30, 20, 30, 40 year bonds, have the yields have hit new highs. Now, as investors are bracing for heavy new issuance, domestic banks have benefited from higher rates. Uh, Bank stock indexes are up 20% since late 2024, but mortgage and JGB demand was favored on yield jitters. Now, one more fun thing to see in this entire concept is this lovely guy called SoftBank. If you all have heard about it, SoftBank is one of the front runners of the bubbles in Japan. Uh, where is SoftBank? Oh, okay. So SoftBank made a high of 27,695. SoftBank also funnily has announced its stock split. Now it so happens that whenever these guys announce their stock split, uh, there is a market crash. Like it has always happened, and this time it was a 4:1 stock split. So ideally, at 28,000, when you're doing a 4:1, your stock price would have been 7,000. Now your price is already 6,000. Okay, it's like you've already almost done 1:2 stock split, which has already been done by the market itself. So the low was 15,000 over here. Uh, Today the stock is up, but otherwise it was down 10% again yesterday. From 15,000, we just have another 50% left till it goes to 7,000, and it's almost there. By the way, SoftBank was at 6,000 just in the beginning of the year. Say March, it was at 5,000. April, it was at 5,700. From there, it has gone to 28,000. So there was a massive rally which kicked in, and this caused your stocks to go haywire. And from 27,000 coming to 15,000, big fall, big fall, just little short of say a 50% pullback. But it's there, it's very much there. And I think what we must look at is how this has happened. Even for that matter, the Nikkei has corrected a bit, but not that much. The Nikkei seems to be pretty strong once again. Global indexes are just they don't care. Till time money gets printed, fundamentals and everything can go for a toss. Every fundamental investor must remember that when money printing is going on in the last stages, this is like it's like a bruised lion or a bruised animal, like who's just trying to fight it out at the last moment and will give it everything. It is senseless at that point of time, so it'll probably do anything, everything, and make sure that it reaches the top, where the end is the most important and not the means. That is what is always very crucial in a bull run. And we have clearly this is not even a bull run, this is something like an AI bubble run, and everything bubble runs. So I would say when bubble runs are happening, anybody who has even little brains should step aside and not be involved in anything related to the markets, because the markets are going to rip you apart. It will completely tear you, and you will not have any idea, because probably your stock will not rally, but indexes are getting managed severely. So indexes will go haywire to the top, just like how Nikkei did, just like how Dow Jones did, just like how our indexes are going, Nifty and Bank Nifty. They are not running on anything fundamental. In fact, India, the valuations are so stretched that people are finding a little problem. Although I feel like there will always be good opportunities, good companies that can be there with low multiples, of course. But it is always the ones which are in the news, which are the ones which are taking your markets up. Now, coming back, we have also seen that the US banks have bond losses. Even the Japanese banks have bond losses. For example, I mean, FY 2025, Norinchukin has reported a 1.81 trillion yen, which is almost 12.6 billion loss in its FY 2025 on the US and European government bonds. Uh, and it still holds around 1.14 trillion of unrealized bond losses as of September 2025. The market reactions have clearly been mixed. US bank stocks saw little damage. Earnings beat and higher net interest income have dominated the narrative. Now there are many things which are also running at the back of it. Some people say that there is some kind of a parallel shadow banking which is running, which is providing liquidity to these guys for less than 30 days and then rotating the money, and it is as big as like a few billions. So we just never know what is possible, what is not possible in today's day and age. On the India front, our government is readying a package, a special package of 7,000 some 300 crores for rare earth. Very positive for rare earth. It is one of the most important things that which is needed for us, and it will surely fire up our country, and it will make the nation stronger. Uh, Now, coming to another very important point, which was the China and Taiwan developments. A lot of tension happening there, a lot of tension. I would say that there was a call yesterday. Japan had a call with China. Sorry, Japan had a call with Donald Trump, and then China had a call with Donald Trump. This was, in fact, when Donald Trump tweeted about the call, he's only said that we spoke about soybeans and blah blah and little bit of everything besides mentioning Taiwan at all. Now we know that US gives Taiwan a lot of funding in terms of defense. It just cleared uh, a big package for Taiwan, and the Taiwan is also proposing a large boost to defense, and it's almost around 40 billion to counter all these threats. So, assuming that America is giving Taiwan military defense equipment, uh, and America also, that it basically has a colony in Japan, because Japan, after the World War, was always perceived as the slave of America. Uh, we see that there is something happening. If uh, China and America want to become friends, uh, it's a very simple thing. You need to become friends so that you can take over these guys. This has already happened historically. They were friends, and we are seeing some kind of a repeat in this. So, if they really are going to become friends, then they really will be together when it comes to taking over Taiwan. And USA will support China to take over Taiwan and do everything in its force to even decolonize Japan and remove its army base from Japan. So I think there is something happening on that front, but we don't know because these things are obviously way beyond us. It is something which is in the making in the governments, in the ministries. So we will never know. Now, in a recent military activity, Taiwan reported tracking dozens of PLA aircraft and ships near its water during live fire drills. Roughly 45 aircrafts and 14 vessels in one incident, which Beijing described as routine exercises. Now it's Beijing. uh, described, whatever. Now, when does a country show its might? When it wants to like deter you from doing something. This guy is out there doing everything possible to make sure that Taiwan does not do it. By the way, one point which I just missed was that there was some downtime in the Arizona TSMC facility, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check it for you. Yeah. So TSMC Arizona in the month of September or something, September, October had a complete downtime over there. Now, for these guys to actually do very well and have highest efficiency, their machines need to be run 24/7, because the cost to shut down and the cost to start your machine is far higher, and because of that you'll not be able to deliver the actual product and the actual thing. So when Nvidia gives its results and it says all this, it's just a little bit of a shocker when just a basic chip designer is saying so much when the reality of the back end is not so true. Now, getting back to our Japan, diplomatic friction with Japan has escalated with China after the Japanese Prime Minister warned of a Chinese attack on Taiwan, which might draw Tokyo in conflict. Beijing publicly rebuked Tokyo. Foreign Minister Wang Yi said Japan was openly sending the wrong signal on Taiwan, and China's defense ministry blasted Japan for planning to deploy missiles to Yonaguni Island, which is just 68 miles from Taiwan, calling it provocative and warning of confrontation. China even vowed to crush any foreign interference over Taiwan after this Japan's missile announcement. So these developments have clearly rattled up the regional markets. Taiwanese stocks briefly fell on Chinese drills, and any flare up in China Japan rhetoric tends to stoke safe haven demand. Trade and tech policy, China is using export controls as leverage. In early November, Beijing expanded curbs on rare earth exports, adding five more elements to its list, and set new restrictions on semiconductor shipments. Now, this move, seen as a response to US tariff threat and timed ahead of a plan, sent Chinese rare earth stocks sharply higher and lifted US and Australian rare earth miners by 20-30% on hopes of new suppliers. No fresh sanctions have been announced against Taiwan or Japan, but Taiwan's allies are reportedly urging Taipei to bolster its defense budget in light of Chinese pressure. Overall, everybody is watching, and I guess we are in somewhere in the last phase of this entire run, which is happening. Not to forget, markets are at an all-time high in India. If we look at our bank Nifty and Nifty also, there is no difference over here. The differences have been dropped in completely. This is around 290. 290 minus this 40 will just give us 250. So they've covered a lot today. Even 26 200, there's a difference of 18, which is basically nothing for the indexes, and the indexes can continue their uptrend even further. Silver, USD, JPY should be looked at continuously, and that I think should bring us to the end of this. Uh, have a great day and enjoy your daily trades. See you soon.